you're doing more than just the research project. The ceremony just kind of validates that. So we could set up a time where we could actually do a ceremony together with the whole group and stuff, So it could be at a class time or something like that. So at what time? When's your class time?
The class for this project, it's on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 2:30 to 5:20.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Yep. I went to one of them, right? And stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, there was
yeah.
one. It was on our worldviews.
Yes.
First semester.
Yeah.
It was on Monday.
Yeah. So maybe what I could do is just, it wouldn't take very long, you know what I mean? But at least that way it gives you a little bit more to think about, but also to share and stuff that you did the ceremony and stuff. Yeah, very good. But always, and also look for images, Wabanaki images. You know what I should be doing is I've actually translated the United Nations when Chief Atleo, I wonder if those would be online. Do you think they'd be online? When Sean Atleo was the Assembly of First Nations chief before he went to the United Nations to present our indigenous worldviews, human rights, he delivered 6 translations from 6 different, and I'm one of them because I did a translation for him. As I was translated, I got really emotional because I couldn't help but feel sorry for myself for being victimized by the government and society and all of that. And it was really one of my hardest pieces that I ever translated. But after I got done, I realized I have to take this to the present day chiefs because they're not speakers of the language. And so they're disconnected from that, that connection, that they have to be more than just politicians. I want them to be real leaders. I don't want them to just be politicians. Hey, vote for me and do this. And that's what I worry about. But I thought if they would read in their own language what we're trying to save here, then I think they'd be better leaders. So I'm going to look for all of that, but I think those are things I'd like to share with you, so that the language is seen, and stuff.
I'm just curious now. When you present your project, that's class project, class presentation, right?
I don't know if we do a presentation.
Oh, you don't?
Our group, so we did the media, and some of the other options were like a panel discussion or a fundraiser, and so those events, as long as they took place before the due date, it wasn't necessarily a standard presentation on that day. But I'm sure if there was something that you would like to do, we would love that. And I think if we talked to they would be on board for that.
Well, the
And
reason
then you can share it after.
The reason I asked was, I think this is important to share with other students as well, not just in your class, but show other students what can be done if you have that interest in First Nations, especially what can we do to bring attention to celebrate Canada's birthday, but what more importantly, what can we do to celebrate resiliency for First Nations? So it would be nice to have other students, that information of what you're doing now, what can be done, so they can start thinking about their own projects that they may want to do during the year that to celebrate resiliency. For me, it would be nice to see resiliency all over the campus every day, starting today. And then on all the different projects from different faculties, from students throughout the campus. So that sends a strong message that it isn't just the president and the VP academic promoting Elder Day resiliency, but it's the students themselves who are taking the initiative and mobilizing themselves to recognize resiliency. But it's more powerful if it came from the students. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I know know John Bulk would be excited about.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I think he'd be
Yeah.
definitely excited of making it a little bit more. This morning when I went to the defense, there was a student there, and so I just asked her, "Are you going to come in to listen to the defense?" And she goes, "No, I've got a class." So as I said, well, I just have to tell you, the reason I'm so bubbling with excitement is Indigenous knowledge is never considered scholarly. That, you know, we're usually myths, you know, things that aren't real, you know, and stuff. And so as we started to talk, I said, actually, I was in this building a long time ago. I used to be an anthropology student. She says, oh, really? I said, yeah, we used to, I remember even organizing an anthropology club. I don't even know if it's still going. She says, well, matter of fact, it is, and I'm the president. So we started to talk, and I said, what are you guys doing now? But they don't do anything like the visions that I had. We used to do clothing drive and food drive because we knew there were students who struggled to make ends meet, or even to eat, or to have something warm to wear in the winter. So now I told her, I said, Greener Village helps out with that. You know what I mean? So we have a relationship with Greener Village. We actually have a space there if we wanted to plant our foods, et cetera, and all of that. And they've actually given me the podium, I mean the, what do you call that? It's round pagoda? Is that what it is? Anyway, just like a round thing at the Greener Village. And so I can do ceremony there anytime I want to. And so I think those are the kind of things, again, you know, it's just naming those partners, you know, like a Greener Village, definitely. They're actually planting traditional food, traditional medicines, you know, now and stuff, because we planted that garden for the residential school survivors, you know, and I think, yeah, so here, same here, so we do a lot of science on the land. So these are all the words, and so what we do is the students have to acknowledge all the traditional plants that were planted in the medicine wheel garden that's right out front. Right now it's covered in snow and mud and whatever. But I think that's another thing that needs to be made awareness, you know what I mean? Because children planted those medicines, and the residential school survivors in there were sitting on the chair watching the children planted in their honor. I mean, that's intergenerational knowledge, you know, and stuff. So, and I'd like to bring because one of the elders, I found out she's been diagnosed with breast cancer, and which I'm going to go see her on March break, you know, and stuff. And it's just not enough time, you know what I mean, to connect. But I never want to neglect them to the point where I'm going to be in my office when I should be making an elder feel appreciative, you know, or me appreciate that elder and stuff, you know. But yeah, so there'll be lots of wonderful. I appreciate you guys, but yeah, I would I'll look for those symbols, you know. But even taking pictures of everything in here, there's I mean along the mural is a really important one, and I do have, you know, I'm not sure. Are you going to do like a video or just social media and stuff? Yeah.
Our end product, I
Yeah,
guess,
yeah.
is going to be a video. That's our
Good.
plan now. And
Okay.
then we have a Facebook page for the development,
Okay.
so we're going to publish that. And we just saying, we did an interview with the Brunswickans last
Good.
Wednesday, so
Okay.
that should come out today. I
Oh,
think.
good.
So it's just a series of kind of different things throughout the next couple of weeks after we get
Perfect.
back from March break.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then the end result will be our videos.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
If we can go around and visit the garden.
Absolutely, the garden, and not only that, absolutely, come to your class. And then I was noticing somebody taking interest in one of the things that were hanging in the trophy case, for example. There's a story, and
Yeah.
you know, behind every one of them, you know, and stuff. So, I mean, just in my office. There's there's a picture. We did 20 years of fasting at one site.
Oh, no.
And so this year we did the 20 years, well, last year, 2016, was 20 years that we've been fasting at the site.
good.
And I've been a part of those 20 years.
Okay,
So
okay.
for my
See you
20th
later.
anniversary, I asked for 7 pipes, but 9 pipes appeared. And so I have a picture of all the pipes. And so, and I have them hanging in my room, but that's another picture I think would be really important to share.
Yeah.
You know, because what I want to do with that is each person that earned that pipe can tell a story about the years it took, because, you know, when you do CVs, or they look for publications when you're applying for SHRC grants, I'm always the one that'll say, well, I'm not necessarily published, there's things written about me, but I spent 4 years earning this pipe, another 4 years earning this pipe, another 4 years for that pipe. I did 4 years for my Sundance. I did another, you know, and I'm going on. So it's a lot more than, you know, an academic role. You know what I mean? So I just want you to know, you know, so now I actually start putting it on my CV, thinking that has to be part of my knowledge base, you know, and stuff. So anyways, but that's the difference and stuff. But so there's little pieces I think that would be really key to talk about. Why a drum is important. What's a pipe? What's I have one pipe that's in the trophy case. The stone actually comes from Mount Carlton, because Mount Carlton was a sacred site where chiefs, all the chiefs, Mi'kmaq, Wolastoqey, Passamaquoddy, Penobscot chiefs would come, and they would fast or just gather by themselves so they can help each other as a confederacy, you know. But they haven't done that for a long time, you know. And so I'm lucky to have one of the stones that was made from Mount Carlton. So I have it on display, you know, and stuff. So there's a lot of stories just there, just on things and stuff. So, and I think that's an awareness in itself. So.
And we have a poster in my office that identifies the contributions made by, historical contributions made by my ancestors in early contact period. Maybe you want to take a picture of that.
Yeah.
Because it's a celebration of contributions as well, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
because we were, it was a year when the public school here in New Brunswick was promoting Francophone and Anglophone contributions. So we, David was working at the Department of Education. He goes, well, wait a minute, what's it going to be like for our students when there's no contributions made by their ancestors? So then they found a picture online. They wanted to, no, we have elders. We'll use it. So that's the picture he's going to show you, and you'll see all the different contributions that our people made to the settler society and stuff, you know. So, okay, I've got another interview actually. I'm gonna go see.